What's up, y'all? Sunday Thoughts, part 2. So I said that I would hop back on here. I had a specific thing or vision of what I wanted to speak about when I got on here, and I went around in a circle because I had a random thought right before I jumped on the live and had a whole new topic because of that. But on the treadmill, during one of my least favorite times in life, I came back around and remembered my original thought. There's some environments that I have been in, namely work environments. When I say work, I mean traditional 9 to 5 work environments where I'm told nothing but negative things about myself. I'm not good enough at this. I don't produce enough at this. I don't work hard enough at this. I'm not skilled enough at this. I'm not doing well enough at this. Getting poor evaluations, and it's just, you hear those things all day, and if you're not strong enough up here, osmosis, those things can just seep into your head and just make you think that you are worthless. They can make you think that you are not good enough at most things. They can make you think that you're useless at different things, at a lot of things in your life, because that's all that you're hearing. Now, somebody who is not strong mentally and goes in those environments or talks to people even outside of work. Sometimes people say that to people in personal settings. And sometimes it's just because they can't get you to do what they want you to do. So when that happens, they down you, they trash you, they insult you, whatever. They tell you you're not good enough. If you're not strong enough up here, you can believe all those things and internalize all those things. What I wanted to say is, when I go into these TV show, reality TV environments, when I saw Kara yesterday, and when Kara saw me and she saw my outfit and she saw the stuff that I put together, her reaction was, when I gave her that reaction, it was slightly different because that reaction was the reaction of a brand new person who doesn't know me, being like, wow, this random stranger put this thing together for me. The second reaction was more of a, I'm impressed because now I know you a little bit type of reaction. Because anyone who knows me even a little bit just knows that those are the type of environments that I thrive in. So I guess some advice that I would have to somebody who feels like they're not successful with what you're doing: think about what it is that you are actually doing, and think about whether that is a place or an environment that you actually want to be, or is it something that you are doing by force, or is it something that you're doing by necessity? Because they say things like, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So the same things that I go into those environments and people are like, Mark, you're a genius for that. Mark, wow, how did you think of that concept? How did you come up with that? There's environments where people don't care and people don't see value in the things that I'm doing. So sometimes it's not that you have to change up what you're doing. Sometimes you have to change up where you're doing it and who you're doing it for. Simple as that. Miss Gastar, that's an instant block comment, to be honest with you. No offense, but when you see the same comment 1,000 times, you know that it's like probably one of those bot comments. But yeah, anyways, change your environment sometimes. You'd be surprised being around different people, being in different locations, because now when I walk into a Challenge Mania event, for an example, it's not just these random cast members that are like, oh, Mark is here. I don't mean to say they're random. But what I'm trying to say is they're not the people who are doing this as a full-time business. So the people who actually run the business see me there, and because of the impression that I have made, they're like, oh, Mark is here. When he said get up on that stage, it was not just because I was like Carl. It's because the two business owners, that actual business, have seen me do several things at their events that they have been able to record and post, and it makes it's free business for them. I'm actually paying them and assisting them with promotion by making their event more lit. So why wouldn't you want to throw me on stage and give me a little bit more time than you might give somebody else, you know? So in one environment, people are like, you're so cool, Mark. Man, like, your employers must love you, and or, you know, your family must feel like you are a gift to the family. And none of that is actually true. It's like, in this environment that I'm in here with you people think that about me, but in other environments, I'm not getting that same reaction. So instead of changing who you are, I mean, sometimes it might be a case where you need to change something about you, but really think about it and say, is it something that I need to change about me, or are the people around me hindering me from being who I need to be, doing what I got to do, and being who I need to be? And I have found that I have stuck around in environments for too long because of not realizing my self-worth. And that's why I appreciate coming out to things like this, where everybody sees my self-worth, where everybody sees my worth, not my self-worth. Because self-worth you have to see for yourself. But I mean, I appreciate going to things like this. Like, I really appreciated the reaction that Kara gave me, not just because she was happy to see what I put together, but she paid attention to all the details, and she was like, you make these things for real? Like, you just thought of this and put it together? I'm like, yeah. Took me a couple of minutes to think of it and put it together. And like I said, I'm in environments where people ask me to do things that I'm just not I'm not interested in, and I'll sit there and put something together and they're like, that's average. If I were you, I would go back to the drawing board and do better. And I'm like, but why am I doing better? What am I doing this for? What is the benefit of me doing this? Why am I doing this? Just to make money? Okay, well, say less. Money is not a primary motivating factor for me to do anything. So this is probably the best that you're gonna get, to be honest with you. So that's it. That was the end of my thought. That was the beginning and the end of my thought. If you find yourself doing something that you think is actually really good, you think you have a talent for something, you think you have a gift that you were given, don't think that because people are A, not recognizing your gift, and B, not asking you to use your gift, that your gift is not worthy of being something that is valued. So, for an example, I have one quick example before I jump back off. I remember I went into a job interview. I didn't want the job. So I answered the questions in such a way that I thought that I would not get the job offer. I was pushed into the job. I didn't even apply for the job. I got the interview based on a connection that I had with somebody else who referred me and talked to the hiring manager, and was like, Mark would be perfect for the job. And then that person spoke to me and was like, Mark, please apply for the job. I think that you're holding yourself back where you are currently, and I have a connect with this guy, so just talk to him, and I think that you'll get in. So I was like, all right. She really pushed me to do the interview. I just didn't want to say no, but I really did not want to do that job. So I went in the job interview. Tell me about yourself. Oh, well, this is the work field that I've been in for this many years. Right now, I do a part-time work, and I supplement my salary with my hobbies, photography, videography, public speaking, and music. And I was like, and then the question of like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Well, I have entrepreneurial goals in the next 5 years. I'm hoping to have my own business, yada, yada, yada. All the things that I would assume that if you tell somebody that is looking for like a long-term employee that you say these things, they're not going to offer you the job. So what ended up happening was they did offer me the job. Oh, they said, I'm glad that you're a creative person. So all these things that you say you could do, I look forward to the way that you're going to implement them within this company, right? And I was like, what? They offered me the job anyways? So I was like, all right. They offered me the job, but they told me that I'm going to have autonomy to actually impact the way that the job is implemented. So I was like, okay, cool. So I started doing the job, and I was like, I've come up with some ideas on how to make this job better and ways that I can make the job better. Here's my ideas. Oh, those ideas are nice, but don't do that. Do this. I was like, but when you hired me, you told me you look forward to the things that I can add to the job. Yeah, I know what I said, but do this. Do this exact thing, and don't bring any of those ideas to the table again. And I'm like, So then I got stuck in this cycle for 5 years at that place where I did not even light that part of my fire. I just sat in there completing mundane tasks for 5 years. So now I'm sitting here at a point where I'm like, I was never the problem. I will never be the problem. And I'm going to work as hard as I can. You know how they say get rich or die trying? For me, it's like figure it out or die trying. I'm not willing to leave this earth without trying every single day to find a path that makes sense for me, where I'm valued appropriately, compensated appropriately, and the things that I'm doing to receive that compensation make me happy and fulfill my spirit. And there's so many people who just don't believe that that's even humanly possible, but I refuse to be one of them. Those are my thoughts. Drops Mike. Have a good night. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank y'all.